going big. We going big, going big. We going big, going big. Don't trip, gotta get it how you live.
We don't have that space to offload some of the baggage that we're carrying, and we don't know how because it's not taught in school, Algie. All the years of education that you had, where did you learn at the basic level to practice thinking positively?
You know, Mo, it took many books, self-help books. For me, it was ultimately reading and hearing Les Brown, motivational speaker, that inspired me to continue not only my reading, but being an example of what I read. Thus, my Be It Forward concept, right? But nowhere in my education, UC Davis, Sacramento City College, even in my daycare. And I'll go even further, even in my many years of management, nowhere. And I wish, as I look back on those experiences in my life, I had went through the arena a long time ago. I wish I would have came out of the arena at birth and equipped with all of these tools in which to deal with life, combat life that is ultimately going to be those chapters added up called my life.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And then you're not taught like how to address or tame that punk ass inner critic because it's camouflaged as your voice in your head for trying to protect you, but it's really keeping you small. Here's what I mean. People don't understand this. Because we're conditioned to believe that voice.
That's correct.
Because it sounds like me. It sounds like I'm giving myself good advice, right? I'm gonna touch on it at the simplest level. You're in a meeting and you have a question and your thought tells you, man, that's a dumb question. Don't ask that question. They're going to look at you funny or they're going to think you stupid, whatever the narrative is. But in that moment, the thought to don't ask the question because certain judgment after the because.
Yes.
At the lowest level, that's the inner critic.
That's
inner critic. You don't ask the question. Everybody else is asking their questions, right? Then you get off the call. Then you think, damn, I should have asked that question. Now I got to go seek out this information to get the answer. When you could have asked the question in the meeting, but the inner critic talked you out of it. And it shows up in so many different forms, man. Public speaking. You got this presentation. You're this expert.
That's right.
You've been doing this for years.
That's right.
Don't nobody have the knowledge that you have about this content that you have to present on. But you're afraid because the inner critic is telling you, you sound stupid on stage. People are going to ask a question that you may not have the answer to. What are you going to do then? So then you over prepare. And then because you're over preparing, you're becoming stressed. And the inner critic camouflage it as you got to work harder so that you don't make a mistake while you're presenting. But you're the expert. You've been doing this for 20 some years, 10 years. Nobody knows this like you. But you got this anxiety. That's the inner critic. That's that punk ass inner critic. And then you come into the arena. I taught you how to address it. Yes. And it goes back to this whole frame of the conversation that we're talking about, identity crisis, right? And I'm going to ask you this, Algie, without knowing what you know about the inner arena, things like that. Before that, what was your thought process and how to address identity crisis if it came up for you?
My thought process, identity crisis, helped me understand that my form of thought processes was a beautiful one. And that when times of trouble and conflict comes, I automatically gravitate not to a level 2, which is chaos and blame and, oh, it was her problem. It was you. No, if you had sent it on time. My whole thought process is I'm gravitating to solution to rid myself of the mental pollution. So that's what the arena taught me was, and not just how to get through those and how sometimes you just got to be still because it's not about you, right? And being able to understand, like, I'm going to use an example. In my earlier management experience, right? I used to seek validation. Am I worthy enough to be on the management team? What did the group say about me? What do they think about me? That was an identity crisis. If I know who I am, I don't need to ask anyone for validation of who I am and what I am. And that's more what the arena helped me validate. Let me use an analogy. Understanding
Okay.
you're a goose, right? And you came in and everybody loves you and you have all these titles and these accolades and ideas and perceptions, but you're able to produce these products and everybody get captivated on the products that you produce, which we'll call the golden egg. And after a while, everybody's so captivated on the products, they forget the goose that laid
Right.
that golden egg. And the value transforms from the goose to the egg. But it is up to the goose to realize its true value,
Right.
not what it produced, it's who it is. So the value is not the egg because people are greater than what they produce.
That goes back to what you said about the titles,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I need to be XYZ because, that I need to look, that would make me be successful. If I had this title, if I did this in this role, then this is how I would be perceived. So that's success.
And then identity crisis happen. Let's say you get all the success and you get all the titles and you have all the degrees, but then one day you get lost in the hood. What good is all those degrees and all that
Yeah,
success if you don't have a heart?
exactly. So remind us what's be it for.
Be it forward is the concept of understanding, just like what we were talking about, the goose versus the egg. Understanding
Okay.
you are the goose and you're more valuable than the egg. And once you understand that concept, then you're able to be it forward.
I like that. At the smallest level, going into the arena, you came out with swag. And with swag, you be it for it.
I went into the arena as a chicken and I came out as an eagle. I realized I can go beyond the barnyard now. I can fly. My destinies and my chapters are going to look different.
Oh my goodness, you cracking me up, brother. You cracking me up. But on
Uh,
a serious note, man, it's all about really bringing value to people, man. Because what I teach, even with the SWAG concept at the basic level, and that's something that's really easy to remember. Self-awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. When you don't have swag, right, there's some sort of judgment present. That means you're feeling afraid of something, you are doubtful, you're triggered, and you're angry. Maybe you're a little depressed, you're sad. All of these type of negative emotions. In that moment, there's no swag.
that's right.
Because you're distracted, right? You're distracted away from your core values, right? Whatever those values are, they're off alignment, right? They're off alignment. You don't feel your best. Judgment is present. So there's no swag. And the simple concept, when you understand self awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit, and understand how to apply it for yourself at the simplest level, and you have swag, you get out of that funk almost immediately. And what I'm teaching, you don't get this in schools. You just don't. You don't get it in most training. I wasn't getting this at my place of employment until I start putting awareness on this, right? And it's, wow, oh my God, this is amazing. This is great. I've never heard of anything like this.
Oh,
Seriously.
I agree.
Seriously, bro. I'm not over exaggerating, man, because Algie, man, and I think this is why we get along so well. This is why you're my brother, man. I have this deep passion for this stuff, man. I really do. And the people who like really trust the content of what I'm sharing and teaching, brother, they prosper, man. They prosper. And you had an opportunity to pop in on a Saturday, right? And we did this all day. And you'd say, man, this has already done changed me. And we just scratched the surface of the material that I had in there. And I was like, man, most of the stuff, man, you need to work on this on your own. And then we'll come back to the arena and we'll talk more about it and things like that, because that's the locker room. That's
That's
the
right.
locker room,
That's
right?
right.
It's like in sports, man. You train, you work out, and you prepping for the game, right? You go to the game, you do all this stuff, right? And then you go to the locker room, and the coach is in the locker room and is giving you a pep talk and all of that stuff. And let's talk about what's going wrong, what went wrong, how do we make
Mm.
pivots. It's like at halftime, making halftime adjustments and
Mm.
things like that. And that's the concept that I brought for leadership. It doesn't matter, man. If you're a high achiever, a leader, a successful, aspiring mom that just want to be the best mom that you can be, you need a locker room too.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Everybody need a locker room, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you, you need a locker room. And it's just real talk. The punk ass inner critic right now, for people that's listening to this, is probably trying to talk you out of investigating what this locker room is and what is this inner arena thing. Because that's what he does. And it's no pressure on my end, right? Because what I do is I help people create the power of choice. And whenever the inner critic is present, there is no power of choice. He's not
That's
giving
right.
you choice. He's
That's right.
keeping you from making
Choices. That's right.
you know what I mean? And so I just laugh because I know, because I've been there. I have inner critic too. I'm not above this. I'm not. I shared the story about how I dealt with an inner critic that morning or whatnot, but we all deal with it. And I just really care about educating people around this. Man, I had a lot of valleys, man. I had a lot of valleys. I had a lot of
Mm.
sob story, a lot of why this
Mm.
keeps happening to me.
We going big, going big. We going big, going big. We going big, going big. Don't trip, gotta get it how you